And as we always say at the end of our episodes, hoop-dee-doo, hoop-dee-day. Jump in the car and go to the race.
It's the So Far So Good podcast with Nick and Eamon. Now here's your producer, Harrison Kern. Psych, Harry's not here, folks. Hey everybody, welcome to the So Far So Good podcast. Harry could not be here today, but that's okay. He couldn't make it for the most technically complicated episode we've had so far.
This has been so difficult. We have the cameras set up. As you can see, we have a camera pointing at a monitor with a microphone, and you can see our wonderful guests, JD and Ryan from Two Tree Hill.
Give him a hand.
Give them a hand, everybody. Yeah, clap for them.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah,
I'm imagining all the applause in my head right now.
Yeah,
all 6 of our listeners on Anchor.fm.
Yeah. Anchor says we have 7 unique listeners.
Whoa,
so,
that's pretty cool.
Yeah, let's hope they stick around for episode 4.
Are you guys listening to the podcast yourselves? So you have 5 unique listeners?
I sometimes do. You know,
I don't support us.
We're down to 6.
Yeah, there's actually more listeners, but they're not unique enough.
Right,
we
exactly.
listened to it
very cookie cutter
4 times as a joke to totally pwn you guys.
Sarcastic.
Yeah, it was pretty epic.
We do put this podcast on YouTube, and we get a lot more views on that. I guess people just want to see our faces and don't want to listen to us.
I don't get that. I don't want to see my face.
Yeah, I don't want to see it. Well, in the last episode, we had some fun, quirky edits. Maybe that's what makes people stick around.
Very cool.
Yeah.
You'll have to do that to this one.
We'll have to.
Yeah. Yes. You should make me like fly around the screen the whole time.
I want wings.
The whole time?
Put wings on me. Put the band wings.
The whole and I'll know if you put different keyframes in.
Okay.
Yeah. You've already you've already given me all this work with the pirate stuff, with all the weird stuff you did in that video, which everybody's seen by now when this comes out.
Everybody watched.
It's true. And
that's
something that JD and I have filmed, and we've done it, and it's all ready to go.
Ryan takes his little penis out on camera. Sorry about that, guys.
See,
sorry if that's too... sorry, comedy's a minefield nowadays.
Sorry, the PC police are on their way because
Nicholas was actually talking about this earlier. Nick, my boy.
Yeah.
Nick had a really good point about this earlier, about how comedy's a minefield. And could you actually expand on that?
Yeah, well, I think mostly what I was talking about was at any point in time when you're doing comedy, you might explode, but most of the time it's like in laughter. And I think that it's important not to laugh at your own jokes.
Yeah.
Like Kevin Hart explodes all the time because he's just laughing at his own stuff, you know. And that's why he's the least successful comedian of the past couple of years. And I think that like he's an example that we all need to
comedy is
listen
just such a dangerous job.
Yeah.
You know, it's you never know what you're getting into with, you know, you could have a crowd that just like you don't.
I mean, you saw what happened to Selena.
Yeah.
And so
Selena, the singer?
No, the comedian.
Wait, did the singer die?
Yeah.
She exploded.
Oh, well, that's awful.
At first, I didn't know if you said Serena, and I was like, did something happen to Serena Williams during one of her sets?
Yeah, man.
One of her tennis sets?
Sets?
Game set.
5-minute set. This is called the
exactly.
This is called the locomotive of thought. You know what I mean? And it's where someone says something, and you just go to the next thing. You know what I'm saying? Chug it.
I'd really love if on this podcast we gave you so little and we got to see the fear in your eyes as you try to keep talking for a while.
I mean, I have no problem.
I should give you something, and then I'll go, all right, now talk about that. And
I want you guys to go, so do you have any projects coming out? And we go, nah, I don't think so. Not really.
Nothing coming
and
up.
You guys are like, cool.
Well,
so like, did you guys have any influences? We're like, no,
not really.
It's gonna happen.
I would like you guys to talk about as of this date recording, you haven't done it yet, but as of this episode posting, you have done it yet. So please give us a summary of your show coming up, or that just happened.
For Burn?
Yeah.
Our live show in Raleigh.
we're doing a show
You
with
did.
our
You
buddy
did one.
Steve Byrne.
Our dad.
We opened for him when we were little baby comics in Wilmington, North Carolina, and I said, Ryan, we got to stay after the show because he apparently stories had told that he loves to go out drinking with the comics after and get really, really drunk. And that's exactly what happened. And he became my dad that night and my best friend. I wish I could start a comedy band with him more than somebody else. And then I begged him to watch our set the next day. He really liked our stuff. We opened for him once in New York. And now we're in Raleigh and we're doing 5 shows with them this weekend featuring. So 20-minute sets. So pretty exciting.
That's fantastic.
Really huge.
It is huge.
It is huge, yeah.
That's really great, guys. I mean,
That's bigger than what we're doing. This is the biggest thing we got going.
It is. We're in a basement in Indianapolis right now.
Dude, you just doxed
A lot of
us.
corn in Indiana. That's all I remember about Indiana.
Corridon? You mean from Rhett and Link?
Butt drugs?
Butt drugs, the famous butt drugs
I don't
commercial?
remember that one.
You don't know the butt
How do you know
drugs?
Corridon?
My
then?
mom is from Indiana as a little girl,
Oh.
and I went to visit once, and I just remember being like, God, there's a lot of corn here.
Yeah. There's Corridon, fun fact, was the first capital of Indiana a long time ago. But there, surprisingly enough, there is more than corn in Indiana. That is the
Okay.
That's the slogan of
that is the slogan for
Indiana Beach.
Indiana Beach. Indiana's like third best amusement park.
Yeah, and I only thought there were 2. Like that's how that's how small Indiana Beach is.
There's Holiday World.
Holiday World.
There's Indiana Beach.
Yeah, I don't think there's another one.
I mean, everyone goes to Kings Island though.
Yeah, but that's in
Kings
Ohio.
Island's in Ohio, but everybody in Indiana just goes to because it's the best one around.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Are we talking about corn, the vegetable?
I think you're
Right?
talking about corn. We both thought you said Corridon, Indiana, and then
No,
and
I'm
then
talking about
Yeah,
corn, the vegetable.
I figured
I
out
was
that-
talking about Corin from Super Smash Brothers.
Right. See, I realized you were talking about corn shortly afterwards, but Eamon had already started talking about Corridon, Indiana, and I just didn't want to correct him.
Yeah.
So throw me on the
Wouldn't this
bus?
be
Fuck
great
you.
if we were all doing improv on stage together, and then halfway through the bit we go, I thought you were talking about this.
Wait a second.
And he
Wait
thought,
a minute.
We should do
Dude, let's all make
we're gonna go to the
let's-
beginning of
Let's
the
make a
bit.
Herald team, guys.
Yeah. Let's do a Herald, but
Ooh.
here's the thing. We all get a different prompt from a different audience member, and we don't tell each other about it, and we just go through a scene as if we're all in agreement on what the scene's supposed to be about.
Nick, I'm sorry, this is fucking up your ears.
Is that already a game? Because it sounds like a great game.
I'm sure
for improv,
it's
honestly.
something, but it would be like under the assumption that you're trying to make it work, whereas I think we should do improv in a very selfish way where it's just like
Hey, as Tim Gunn once said, make it work.
Yeah.
You guys, big runway fans.
You know?
What is that called?
Project Runway?
Project Runway.
Project
You fuck with
Runway.
Project Runway? I don't, but
Make
I've
it
heard,
work.
I've heard make it work.
yeah.
Yeah.
I've heard it. I don't.
So can we talk about the corn thing again? Because I feel like
Right.
that was
Yes,
a rich
yeah,
vein.
yes,
that was a
of
rich
course.
comedic vein. I think we need to really stretch that one out.
I agree.
Man, there's so much corn, you know?
What's your favorite type of corn, Ryan, specifically?
Oh, me?
Yeah, what's your favorite type of corn?
Well, first of all, thank you for asking.
Yeah.
Of course.
But if I were to like really think about my favorite kind of corn and how to prepare it, I'd just say my least favorite kind of corn is corn on the cob, because when I had braces,
I feel
couldn't
you.
eat it.
That was
Couldn't
the
eat it. And now the older I get, the more I don't like it, because I don't like getting stuff in my teeth.
Right.
And that goes for popcorn too.
Mm.
The more
That's
older
why
I
he doesn't
get,
floss.
It's hard to.
I don't floss. I bleed like a little idiot, like a little leper. I bleed
yeah,
every
you
time
don't
I
you
go
don't
to the
floss,
dentist.
you free bleed.
I
Oh,
free
yeah.
bleed,
Free
baby.
bleed,
I got a
and-
diva cup for the teeth.
all the plaque
That's
just
what I
comes
call
out
it.
with the blood.
Yeah, if the flow
Yeah,
is strong
exactly.
enough,
Yeah.
it knocks it off.
They always go, you need to floss. And I go, you need to shut up. And then I spit in their face.
Nice.
Ryan,
That's
so you
epic.
had braces. You feel me with that struggle. I had braces when I was in middle school. Did you have like do you have like the lingual bar like under your like bottom teeth, like the permanent retainer?
You tell me.
I wish I could.
wish-
Is it in there?
I wish I could.
I wish I could see.
Yes.
Me? Okay.
Do you really have a bar in your teeth,
I have
Ryan?
one too, and I was wondering,
Yeah.
I'm like, how fucking often does that happen? Because it's not something I've ever talked to other people who had braces about. But I'm like, is that something that like every like a fifth of people just have?
It's like a literal metal bar.
It's a
still
metal
in
bar
your
that
mouth.
is cemented to
It's
my
a,
bottom
it-
teeth.
It's a permanent
yeah,
retainer.
it's a
I
permanent
have.
retainer
Here.
on the bottom of your mouth. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm with
Yeah.
JD here. I have no idea what you guys are talking about. That's
Didn't know this about Ryan at all,
That's kinda
and I've
fucked.
kissed him several times.
well, how
We
I
had a
guess-
whole bit. We had a whole bit where that was the crux. The crux of the
Our first song we ever wrote, the big finish is we kiss each other.
nice.
bit. And
as
had
best
We had to
friends.
cut it because it does seem like that's not a good enough joke.
In
'Cause
New York, we
Yeah.
didn't want it to be the
Yeah.
joke is haha, two guys kiss, isn't that crazy?
Right.
But in North Carolina, they've never seen anything
Kills.
like it before. They're like,
oh,
oh my
yeah.
god.
kills.
They get scared, they get out their
kills.
torches.
You get driven out of town.
So, all right, so guys,
Yes.
Yeah.
I actually had a question for you. Am I allowed to ask you a question?
Of course.
Only one.
Only one?
Yeah,
Okay,
so make
hold
sure
on.
it counts.
Oh, who's Juan?
Well, there's your question. Okay. Well, now we can't.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Well, no, that was JD's question.
Okay.
Okay,
yes,
yeah.
yeah.
I don't know how to answer that, JD, so you wasted your question.
Okay, so my question is this: so you guys are called the So Far So Good the podcast and / show.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
that's
Is that correct?
Yes.
So when did you guys decide to be So Far So Good? Where did you get the name, and why?
So actually, we were in a we've told this story a little bit before, but we were in a college comedy show called BSU Tonight, which I actually have the shirt on right now, and it was a sketch comedy show, kind of like the Tonight Show mixed with SNL, that kind of thing.
Except
And
way better than both.
except
of
way
them.
better than both of those. We didn't have the
No,
Wario sketch.
I like that you were like, it's the Tonight Show mixed with another big thing, right? I was
Yeah.
expecting like one big thing, small thing. You're like, no.
No.
Actually.
Yeah, two of the big things, and we
It was-
surpassed both
there-
of them in quality.
It was
half
half
crazy.
like talk show, half like sketch show, and there was some other stuff.
Yeah, and it inspired the show that we're doing now. But I was the executive producer our senior year, and Eamon was the creative director. And then when the pandemic happened, our season got cut short early, and we didn't get to have a finale.
We were supposed to
And-
have a big 20th anniversary.
Yeah, 20th
reunion and
anniversary
stuff,
of the
and,
show. I had contacted all the previous hosts, that kind of thing. And when that happened, we were editing a short film that we had made.
This boy.
Yeah, Constellation Quest. And I think it would have happened regardless, but the fact that it ended early kind of made us think, well, I'm not ready to be done doing sketch comedy stuff.
Yeah.
So we just started to figure it out. So our show is actually comprised of people from all over the country. Like we have a pod of people in New York, Chicago, LA, Atlanta, and it's all alumni from our show, and they're all making sketches like with themselves, and it kind of takes some of the load off of us, and we
Yeah.
can have a weekly schedule. And it's been nice having like writers meetings with our friends from across the country, and yeah, and we decided to call it So Far So Good because we knew that we'd have no money and no access
Yeah.
to do anything.
It's
And
it was kind of out of irony, where like it's almost like a sense of like, you know, we are going into this in a pandemic world. Everything just got flipped upside down. So far so fucking good.
Yeah,
you know?
it-
I don't know. That's kind of where it came from for me at least.
yeah, work in progress. We threw a bunch of names around, but we liked that one a lot.
It's alliterative.
That's epic.
Yeah.
Very epic.
Yeah, no, that actually is a really good story. I didn't know if you guys were like old school So Far So Goods, but the fact that it's new
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
puts it into a new perspective, you know.
Yeah.
But also, speaking of epic, I'm glad you brought this up, JD. Before the
Yeah.
show, we were talking about epic
Movie.
epic movie,
Oh,
and I was
the
going to talk
best
about how
spoof movie.
3 days ago I started watching Jacksepticeye on YouTube for the first time.
Yeah.
For the first time.
First time.
And
Whoa.
I'd heard of him in passing, but this was the first time I ever watched one of his videos.
We were too busy having sex with hot girls
Right.
Oh.
to be
Yeah.
watching Jacksepticeye.
And
Understandable.
so I watched him, and I'm watching his Resident Evil playthrough right now, and I think it's fun. I get it.
Yeah.
It's fun.
It's pretty epic.
And so that was the story that I brought to the pod.
Jacksepticeye has grinded on me before.
That's a fact.
That is a fact. He
Were
was
were you in Ireland?
no, he was in Indianapolis.
Yeah. So
That's even more unbelievable.
so we were mentioning to you guys because we had a meeting about collaborating, and we'd mentioned that Eamon plays the bagpipes. Well, there are some conventions in Indianapolis like Comic Cons and that kind of thing, and Eamon used to go to those with his bagpipe and would bagpipe around the convention hall.
And there was Indie PopCon was this convention, and the two big guests that year were Markiplier and Jacksepticeye. And I kind of stood, the line to meet Markiplier was around the building. And I was just playing the bagpipes around, and that day happened to be Markiplier's birthday. So I had played Happy Birthday on the bagpipes, and he looks over the line and goes like that. And I skip the line.
Yeah.
And then I play a tune for him, and they're playing, and then all of a sudden Mark and Jack are up on me and shit.
And grinding, yeah.
Yeah.
And
I was 17, so
Yeah.
they're pedophiles.
Oh, yikes. Also, I would like to
No,
point out.
I shouldn't say that because YouTube gamers are actually coming out to be fucking pedos.
Right. They are not, as far as we know.
Yeah.
As far as we know, they're very nice people.
They were real nice to me that day.
I would like to point out that the line to meet them was from convention open to convention close. And there were people that would go home without meeting them who got in line at the beginning of the day.
Wow.
Because
Yeah.
I know the one of the creators of the convention. And when they announced those guests, I reached out to him and I was like, I don't think you understand how big this is going to be, because those guys don't go to conventions. So people from all around the country are going to come here to meet them. And that was the case. It was insane. I didn't get to
That's
meet them.
nuts.
And then I found a ticket on the ground of because throughout the convention, after the first day, they were like, we need a system. We don't have a system for this. So I found a ticket on the ground, and then I gave it to Eamon.
So I met
Eamon met them twice. Three times. And I didn't meet him once.
That's
Wow.
awesome.
Sorry.
Yeah, it's okay.
Were they like, hey, it's you again. Why are you back?
Yeah.
Pretty much.
I remember because I was telling Jacksepticeye that because my dad grew up in Ireland, and I was like, yeah, I like your videos.
My dad grew up watching Jacksepticeye.
Oh,
Yeah.
of course. It was on the telly. It was on BBC4 all the time, But I was telling my dad was from Donegal, and Jacksepticeye is just like, how come every fucking person from Indiana's got some relative from Donegal? And I'm like, I don't know,
That's
man.
where they all came. I don't know.
Yeah.
That was a really
Wow.
good Look, I'm new to this Jacksepticeye game, but I know a good impression when I hear it.
I wasn't trying. I hope none of my Irish cousins hear this. So don't judge me on my accent.
I would like Eamon to tell another story about someone in Ireland that your dad knew.
Oh yeah. So my dad.
Is it the Lucky Charms guy?
Yeah.
Everyone in Ireland knows the Lucky
Exactly.
Charms guy.
From Austin Powers. The
Yeah.
first
Yeah.
one.
My dad grew up in a really small town, and in that town, Matthew Broderick's family owned a summer home. When Matthew still owns the house, but my dad was childhood friends with Matthew Broderick because he'd spend his summers at this house.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you know who we
With
can't
Matty
get on our
B?
podcast?
Whoa.
Matthew Broderick. We can't get him. We've got to keep trying, though.
Wow.
But yeah,
That's pretty sweet.
he hasn't seen the guy in about almost 30 years at this point. But
And Matthew Broderick.
Why would
killed people
you let that connection go?
Well,
I'd be sending pigeons.
all the way?
Oh, yeah.
apparently,
Or whatever they do in
pigeons.
Ireland.
apparently, he still gets along with my aunt and uncle. Like my aunt will just go on morning walks with Sarah Jessica Parker sometimes.
See, that needs the fact that they're not on our show makes me so freaking angry. I can't explain it.
Well,
I like that-
Eamon, I think you dropped this. Hold on, wait.
You dropped this name.
You dropped. Hold on.
Oh,
Sarah Jessica Parker.
just
It's
We
and
do
I
that
think-
with Steve Byrne all the time. And it's funny because
yeah.
not a ton of people know Steve Byrne, but we
Right.
talk like he's the most famous comic in the world. And we're like, yeah, Steve Byrne. You may remember him from his
Oh.
Comedy Central Presents in 2006.
a lot of our friends do the same thing, but with the comedian Kevin McCaffrey.
Kevin McCaffrey,
we
I
love
don't think I
Kevin
know him.
McCaffrey, but
He's a New York comic.
he's a New York comic. He was the first host of BSU Tonight,
our college
our
show.
college show. But he also he was a writer for Letterman for years. He was on True TV's World's Dumbest.
Do you remember that show? Remember World's Dumbest?
He was.
I sort
of
of check out when someone says True TV. Mentally.
World's Dumbest was a show that
I love World's Dumbest.
it was kind of
It's-
like
it's-
America's Funniest Home Videos, but it would be like clips would be interrupted by comedians like filmed in an interview shot making quips about the
Yeah, so it's like I love
Yeah.
the 90s.
Yes. He
Yeah.
was on History Channel's like I love the 1890s too.
yeah.
He wrote jokes
Oh,
for
that's
that.
funny.
Yeah.
So we always name drop him
That's
because
awesome.
like he's been on our show multiple times and stuff like that.
Not this
but
show.
Not this show on BSU
Oh
Tonight.
shit! Meeting will end in. Oh
That's
my-
okay. We'll have to redo it.
Okay, so
When the meeting ends,
click on the link.
click
again
on the
and you'll
link
get back
again,
in.
and we'll start again.
Okay.
Sorry,
We'll start from the beginning, and I'll go. Hold on, guys.
Yeah.
Let's talk about corn again. And then
Yeah,
I'll
let's
go.
go. Yeah.
we still got 10 minutes. We're good.
Yeah,
We'll
we
keep
got 10
going.
minutes. But
Okay.
yeah, Kevin McCaffrey, he might be on this show. Hopefully. We've talked to him about it, and he said if we ever need him for something to ask him. So that'd be cool.
That's good.
But yeah.
Those are the types of
That's
things
good.
you really want to wait for the right time to ask, though.
Yeah.
I get that. Or I'm like, we can't ask him about this. We got to wait till we really, really need it. It's
Yeah.
like rubbing a genie bottle.
I almost.
Well, it's like I want to ask Phineas and Ferb guy for everything.
Oh yeah, Dan.
Oh, yeah, we
Pogemeyer.
always want to
Yeah.
ask Dan
That's
to
right.
do shit for us.
Because he's like our dad. He's like our other dad. Other
Yeah,
than
yeah,
Steve.
yeah.
So we'll go.
Well,
we could just ask him.
two dads.
You gotta
How's,
say
how's
no.
that working out
We're
in North
hoping he'll
Carolina?
do a TikTok
yeah.
with us.
Yeah, he was.
Oh, he
there's
already
the-
did a TikTok with us.
Yeah, the bear.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the
we're
bear
hoping
guy.
he'll do another one where he has to be a little more involved.
Yeah.
And tie himself up.
as opposed to
Oh
just
my-
saying the beginning of it.
Well, we're working on this bit where we're the supervillains of TikTok, and we're gonna have people who are friends of ours who are big on TikTok start the video like it's one of their videos, and then we crash in and we've hacked in
That's
Oh,
to
fun.
their
so it's-
TikTok, and then it shows
Kinda like-
that we've captured them, and we're like, you need to give us this many likes,
That's
or
good.
we're
That's
gonna
fun.
Oh,
do
nice.
something dumb to them.
Kind of like Synthrat. Did you ever come across Synthrat?
I do like Synthrat, but yeah, that same surprise, but
Yeah.
much quicker than Synthrat. He always
Good.
waits till the very end.
Yes. Yeah.
I might be able to get you
Yeah,
guys in contact with somebody.
It's very like, I don't know, like it seems like TikTok is such a new platform that there still needs to be like,
Yes.
like how there was like the cute win fail on YouTube for a while. You know, like when people use the platform for like weird stuff.
Uh-huh.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like they'll do like I think Neil Cicerega has like a choose your own adventure game.
Yes. Yeah.
It's
yeah,
almost
yeah.
like it's almost like I feel like TikTok needs like more of people using the platform in different weird ways like that.
Yeah.
That's pretty true.
TikTok-
I agree with that.
TikTok feels right now like the same way that like YouTube in 2009 felt, where like nobody knew what the hell it was yet, and you're just kind of throwing everything at it and to see what sticks.
Yeah.
Well, it's-
2009 is a good year because like there were celebrities on YouTube.
Yes.
No
Yeah.
one knew how much to pay them or if they were
Yeah.
going to stick, you know?
Yeah.
Like,
Yes. Yeah.
Well, like Rhett and Link were huge proponents in making YouTube realize that they should pay YouTubers, because they started doing like Rhett and Link started incorporating sponsors in their videos, and other YouTubers were like, "Oh, we can do that. Should we get sponsors too?" And it kind of like, I don't know. That was a huge turning point for like.
They're like, should we be friends with gay people?
Yeah.
This figuring this YouTube thing out is hard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That
I
was a
love
really
Rhett
good Rhett
and
and Link impression.
I love Rhett and Link.
I do too.
To the
I-
end of my days. But did you listen to their podcast series where they talked about losing their religion?
Yes, that's
Yes.
insane. It
It's
really
just
like
it's so intense.
Yeah,
But
it is really intense.
Link is like, I hugged a gay man and I realized they were humans or whatever. I was
Yeah,
like,
yeah, yeah.
damn, Link.
I think-
yeah,
you really from North Carolina.
I think it was
Yeah.
I think it was What the Buck too, right? It had to have been What the Buck.
That was the gayest,
Oh,
the
yeah.
only gay man in the
Yep.
country at the time, I think, was What the Buck.
right.
I was I loved What the Buck growing up. I
me
was
too.
subscribed to What the Buck.
It was interesting because I think the Rhett and Link's producer Stevie, she's LGBTQ, and I remember when she joined.
She's all of them.
Yeah, she's all 5 plus.
LGBT and Q.
But she, I was actually watching a video that the CEO of Patreon made a documentary about Rhett and Link, and it came out today, and I was watching it, and she joined the show, joined their crew in 2013, and I feel like with her working so closely with them, and them being in the new environment of LA and all that stuff, that had to have been a huge contributing factor for them slowly coming to terms with their religion, you know.
For sure.
Yeah, for sure. I mean,
Or lack
they're
thereof.
from the mountains, right? They're from the mountains.
They're
of
from
North Carolina.
Yeah.
Bowie's Creek or whatever.
Yeah,
Are
they're from where you don't leave.
Are
Yes.
they
Yeah.
anywhere near Grandfather Mountain? That's the only
Grandfather Mountain. Grandfather Mountain is almost where it's like city living compared to where they're
Oh
from.
wow! Ooh, woof. That's really the only place I've been in North Carolina. I was in Valley Crucis, and that area, and then Grandfather Mountain. And that's about it.
Interesting. I've never been there because I don't. I don't like
we
people
almost
from
have
there.
every biome here in North Carolina except the desert. So if you want to come hang out at one of our mini biomes,
Or the Arctic.
Hey,
hold on.
We have
That's true.
desert in Indiana, kind of up at the sand dunes.
Yeah, we got sand dunes north. It's cold.
Hey.
If you say you have sand dunes, then yes, you have desert.
We have a cold desert.
Yeah, and it's by a beach.
Ooh.
It's right by a
And
beach.
it's by a beach.
It's frigid, and there's
Yeah.
lots of water, but it's a desert.
Cold desert sounds like
no,
a
but
delicious IPA name.
Indiana's not coastal, guys.
It's not coastal.
No, but we got
It's-
lakes.
It's coastal in the same way that Chicago is.
It's actually that's
Gary
exactly
yeah,
it because
Gary is there. It's just kind of like
Yeah.
the asshole of Chicago.
yeah, it's all on the same lake.
Yeah.
It's all on the same lake. We got pretty
I was
great
trying to
lakes.
I was trying to think of a famous person from Chicago so I could say I thought this person was the asshole of
No
Chicago.
one's ever been from Chicago, JD.
There's no famous
Never.
people from Chicago.
I'm trying. What do they have there? Second City.
Lori Lightfoot.
Chris Farley's the asshole of Chicago.
He's Canadian.
Ah no,
No,
but he was
Chris
there.
Farley. Chris Farley's from Madison, Wisconsin.
Is he?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he's not Canadian.
Well, don't you
yeah.
know so much
He's
about
the
Chris?
You're
only
thinking
not
of
Canadian
John
one.
Candy. You're thinking of
That's
other
Cana-
fat.
John
Canadian.
Candy's Canadian.
He's a Canadian.
Dan Aykroyd's Canadian.
They all look the same to me.
Hugh Jackman's Canadian.
Oh, so all fat comedians look the same to you? Is that what this is? Huh?
Are you from Canada?
Listen, you're
We were
putting
gonna
words
ask.
in my mouth.
All I said was
That's gonna be JD's famous last words. All I said was.
all I said was.
Can you believe this? I love going up to Ryan and pitching him the most offensive idea for a TikTok in the world,
Yeah.
and then going, "What do you think?"
Do you know who Khakis Only is? It might be a deep cut.
I-
Oh,
TikTok.
he's the guy that looks like the Polar Express kid, right?
Yes.
Yes,
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You guys did an
He,
Instagram live with him.
Yeah. Angelo has become one of our friends, and we pushed his buttons the other day.
We made him so mad on his
so
live.
thoroughly. And we did the bit that we kind of did with you guys.
Uh-huh.
But
We kept going. Angelo, do your Chris Rock impression that you were doing the other night for us. And he's like, I don't do a Chris Rock impression. We're like, no, come on, do it, man.
We're like, it's
And
so
then-
funny.
And then I'm like, do Jackie Chan. You were doing Jackie Chan. And he's like, I don't. Hi, I'm Jackie Chan. And we go, no, that's not how you were doing it.
And because it's like one of those things where like we are trying to make him cross the line.
We're trying to
Angelo's
make him,
too smart to do it.
You're right.
We're trying to make him laugh and break and back him into a corner.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
He was like, you guys need to stop doing this.
He was so mad at us. So
Yeah.
so we've decided that we have to stop doing that on TikTok.
Does he
Yeah.
does he come from like a comedy background? Like, is he a comedian, or did he just kind of?
He went to the only school. It's in like Boston, right, Ryan?
I got in Emerson College.
Oh wow.
And they
Oh,
have
nice.
a comedy degree you can get.
Really?
Huh.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
incredible. Wow.
Which I think it sounds like a lot of fun, but I have a film degree and I barely use it.
Right,
I
same.
can't imagine
That's what we're-
what the
Look
comedy
what we're
degree
doing.
We're using it right now.
entails.
Yeah.
We're using our film degree right now, and
Yeah.
it took us an hour to set everything up.
Ball State TCOM, baby.
Woo.
Education
Yeah.
redefined.
This is the intermission.
Oh my God, guys! Lombardi McConnor's here.
No, he's not. In that first episode,
Yeah.
I very clearly said I have an idea for a bit.
And then
Introduce
I
a
fucking
guest.
ruined it.
Introduce a guest, and then you just introduced a named guest,
Yeah,
and I was like,
introduced a guest.
"But I told you I had an idea." You should have said, "Oh, it looks like we have a guest here. Please introduce yourself."
I didn't know what to, all I heard was I have an idea for a bit. Introduce a guest, and I thought that meant just. But you know what? You did a great job. Yes-anding.
I'm glad, man. I'm glad you did.
Because that's the first rule of improv. Whatever happens, you can't go in with expectations.
I know, man, but
you just gotta pay attention to the scene around you.
I had an idea for a character, and I don't remember what character it was now. I was so excited because I was like, "Oh, this is a great character for our first episode. It'll be so funny. Eamon and Harrison are gonna love me so much, and they're not gonna talk about me behind my back anymore." And then you introduced Lombardi,
Stephen Lombardi.
Stephen
McConnor.
Lombardi.
Oh my God. Awesome. Welcome back, folks. That was a great ad read.
Yeah, what a fun
if you're
ad
listening
read.
on Anchor.
And if you're watching on YouTube, there was nothing. It just
Nothing.
cut straight to it.
Yeah.
Just an awkward break, just us talking about something, and then us slowly getting back into something else.
Exactly.
We were talking before, like in the interim, we talked about how no one is using Skype anymore, and it feels like this should be the golden age of Skype.
You would think so.
Right.
Skype, I had Skype on my computer and then downloaded Zoom and deleted Skype. Like, I don't know what happened and why the world abandoned Skype, but all of us agreed on
They
it.
did Skype dirty.
Yeah. We all just
Yeah.
agreed on it. and just
I
left.
used to use Skype all the time. I played Minecraft on with my
man.
friends over Skype. I
Yep.
like maybe 2010. When did Minecraft come out?
1997.
It looks like it.
No, the
Epic Minecraft burn.
Epic Minecraft.
Epic fail.
Rafflecopter.
I remember I first
spin.
did Minecraft in it had to have been 2010. 2009, 2010. Because I was on there every night getting on Skype with a group of like 10 people. One of our nerd friends had a server, and then like everyone would just hop on and build stuff.
That's everybody wanted to be friends with the kid who could make the Minecraft server
Yeah.
on their computer, and now all those kids have like engineering degrees.
Yeah.
I only played it on my phone. I played Pocket Minecraft.
Oh, man.
You
at the
missed out.
beginning. But I remember that it was around the exact time that Tenacious D released Rise of the Phoenix and Reggie Watts released Fuck Shit Stack, the album.
Oh, there you go.
Because I was listening to both of them on repeat, and I would play Pocket Minecraft and be like, I built the pyramid. Pretty cool, right?
Yeah, because Minecraft was in beta still, right? So it was all
Yeah.
free.
Pocket was.
Oh man.
Yeah, it was 100% free for a long time. I think I
Yeah.
still have it for free on my like old computer.
And then everybody kind of got grandfathered into it. Everybody who still had it, at least. I
Yeah,
had to
yeah,
buy
yeah.
it. I had to buy it because I didn't hop on the Minecraft train like fully until it came out like completely. In middle school, I just played a shitload of Roller Coaster Tycoon 3. Like that was my
Oh
jam.
yeah.
I love that.
I love
That is
that-
a really good game.
I love that
I was
game.
playing a lot of Little Big Planet.
Oh, nice.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Yo.
Ooh.
So
Creative.
I also mentioned this in between us getting the Zoom call fixed up, but that was my start on YouTube, was making Minecraft videos. And I remember all of it's private now, but Eamon and I used to do like Eamon and I we met in 5th grade, and we were in the Indianapolis Children's Choir together, but we didn't go to the
No
same
way.
school. Yeah.
You're gonna
Why did we
gloss
not
over
know
that?
this?
You're gonna gloss over that information?
So yeah, I guess we've talked about it on the podcast before, but yeah, we were in the Indianapolis Children's Choir, and we actually met in an opera.
We were cast in an opera.
That's where we met.
You
in
were
5th
also
grade.
children, right? You
Yeah,
were
yeah, yeah.
children.
It was
you weren't
fifth-
just okay.
5th grade.
Okay.
And that's where we met. I have a picture right now that I'll show you. I'll send to you
The
guys.
one that I sent you.
Yeah, I'm gonna send it to you guys, and we'll put it
Yeah,
up
put
on
it
the
in the-
screen
put it in the Twitter chat.
post.
I
Was
really
the opera
like.
in Latin?
It was in Italian.
Yeah, it was in Italian.
What?
Arancini, nolegani, toroni, e caramelle toroni.
They made children do this?
Look at Chef Boyardee over here.
All I remember is Papagnol, Papagnol, Papagnol.
Toccaretto tutto fior. Ecco papi.
Here, okay. I just sent
I
you
just
guys.
really like the idea. I like the idea of me and Ryan being in a children's choir.
Yeah.
That visual of it's a bunch of children and me and Ryan.
just as the age you are now.
Yeah.
I just sent you guys the picture of us in the opera when we met.
Right.
Oh
we
my
just
Lord.
unearthed this picture a little bit ago. We're
Oh my
putting it up on the
God.
screen right now.
I don't want to be mean to you, Nick, but you 100% look like a little girl in this
I
photo.
know, I do.
Yep.
I mean,
Who is
Oh.
this adorable little Asian girl?
that's
This
Dimitri
is-
Martin.
I was going to say this is someone I would date now, but you said you're in 5th grade.
Yeah.
Why does Eamon look like he fucks?
Yeah,
Hey,
you
man.
look like you just smoked a big bowl.
We were talking about
I
Brental
had
floss.
pretty loose Brental floss. Did you guys fuck with Brental floss on YouTube back in the day?
Oh, I did. I remember Brental Floss. Yeah.
Dude,
Backstage at this opera is where Eamon introduced me to Brental floss.
I
Very
met
funny.
him
I
a little bit later.
got into like DFTBA, nerd fighter stuff. A very specific niche of the internet, by the way. A very
Yeah, yeah,
specific
yeah.
niche.
Well, not anymore
Um,
because Hank Green is the king of TikTok.
Right.
Yeah, but like when I was
Yeah.
13 years old, Hank Green was my god. And that's not like his band was the coolest band in the world. It was all nerdy comedy songs, and I was
Yep.
like,
Yeah,
no
yeah,
way. And then I liked Looking for Alaska because of course I did, right? I mean, like it was the dopest. And then I got into like the British YouTubers and stuff. Man, like when I was like 14, like it was all like Charlie is so cool likes and all of that
Yep.
stuff. I don't know if
Oh,
you guys
man.
even remember. Like
I remember
that
Charlie's
at
so
all.
cool. Like, yeah.
I was all like Rhett and Link, Tobuscus, Julian Smith. Like those are my 3 like heavy hitters.
I liked Julian Smith. I really liked Rhett and Link, and I got into the like Grace Helbig, Hannah Hart,
yeah.
Mamrie combo. I would watch them a lot more than I would watch anybody else. Them and Rhett and Link at that era.
Yeah.
I watched Rhett and Link for exactly one summer.
Interesting.
Damn.
And that summer was when it was the first time they did Good Morning Chia Lincoln.
Right.
So I watched Good Morning Chia Lincoln from episode 1, and then I watched it all summer long, and then I forgot about Rhett and Link.
You witnessed the birth of an empire.
Yeah, truly.
I know. I had no idea. I was like, oh, this is fun.
I mean, I still like
I still watch Good Mythical Morning.
in
every
terms
once
of
in a while,
like
yeah.
watching things consistently on YouTube, it's pretty much only Rhett and Link for me. Like I catch other things, but Rhett and Link I watch every morning because I work
I think
at a radio show and I have like 5-minute breaks in between when we're on air, and I just watch 5 minutes of Good Mythical Morning until the show comes back on and I pause it.
I'd love if they started doing songs again because they're
dude.
so
That's why Buddy
they're
System's
doing
so
so much content
know.
Yes.
just in terms of making their show that they don't do. I loved them because of their music, and their music
Yeah.
videos were so good.
Did you watch Buddy System?
No, wasn't
It's-
that like YouTube Red?
Yeah,
good. But it's all
yeah,
free
yeah.
now.
It's all free now. It's
Oh,
really
okay.
Yeah.
it's pretty good. Like it's what you would expect from a Rhett and Link sitcom, but I loved it. And every episode has a song. Then the songs are top tier. And honestly, like I was talking to Eamon about this because I mean, and we can get into this in a second. Actually, you guys are a comedy band. We're more of like a variety comedy, but we're trying to get into comedy music because we both have musical backgrounds. We met in an opera. But when we've been, I guess this episode,
Yeah.
we did 2 original songs. One of them with you guys, the Internet Pirate Sea Shanty, and then Contagious Love. And in my inspiration for comedy music, my biggest influence is probably Rhett and Link. Like in the way that I approach trying to, because I mean, there's so many different ways you can approach a comedy song and how to write it, but I just have always gelled with like the way they do things.
They do it really well. We do
Yeah.
a lot of stuff similar to them. If we're thinking about a music video, we try to tap into that for sure.
Right.
Yeah,
But-
I don't have like any, like I know Rhett and Link stuff in passing, but like I'm really like JD is the Rhett and Link guy of the group. Like together we make up all comedy music, like we know all of it. So sometimes JD does the heavy lifting, and for Rhett and Link he does the heavy lifting.
There you go.
They just had great harmonies too. That was such a
man.
big
Yes,
thing for
yeah.
them, is they would do these really beautiful harmonies for comedy songs, and it was just their first album. It's like them wading through that like water.
Is it
and
like
it's,
up
blue
to
and
this
green.
point? Is what
Yeah.
it's called?
Up to
I
this
think?
point,
Yeah.
that album is so great, and
It
it's it's just like really stupid, silly songs, but they sound really, really good.
Well, my dad's a bass player, and we've grown up with music. So one of the reasons that I think I clung to Rhett and Link at first was exactly what you said. Their like production was just it's like they were focusing equally on the music as comedy, and sometimes that isn't the case with comedy music. Sometimes it's comedy first, sometimes it's music first, and it's not as funny. And like they just went all in on the production.
Ninja
and the
Sex
harmonies
Party,
Hey.
Shots Fired.
I
hold on.
Yeah.
Whoa,
Hold
whoa.
on.
I have mixed feelings.
Ninja Sex Party has definitely gone through an interesting like change where I
Yeah.
think at first they were comedy forward, music second. They didn't care about the music as long as there was music, and then
As long as it was about like penises and
Right.
sex,
Yeah. And,
right?
like,
I mean,
and
that was
part of-
that was the bit.
yeah, yeah,
and part of their bit was that it was really crude and like just some synth sounds, you know.
Yeah.
Not that like
Yeah,
now Nick and I fuck hard with Twerp.
Twerp
their
is
backing band.
Twerp is my favorite band, and they are the backing band for
Yeah.
Ninja Sex Party. And when that was first
They're great.
announced, we were freshmen in college, and the first like Cool Patrol was the first song that came out that had Twerp as the backing band, and we freaked out.
Oh yeah.
But what I noticed with like their more recent album, it's like they're really going hard on the production, and only one song like made me laugh. Like the other songs, I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
that's amusing.
Yeah.
It was
Welcome,
sure.
my
I
dear.
I think
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go on, JD.
Tenacious D is definitely the other band that they
Yes.
sound so good, but it's
Yes.
really funny stuff too.
Yeah. Exactly.
But not always. I mean, like they do have like the metal and stuff, you know.
Yeah.
You
I
it's
know,
just,
but
like-
I mean, his delivery on that stuff is still, it's like aware
Yeah.
of what it is. It's
Yes.
really,
oh yeah, I mean, I love it. I
Very
love the metal.
intentional.
I regularly
That-
listen, like on my just my normal playlist is just like Wonder Boy and like The Government Totally Sucks, stuff like that.
Wonder Boy is my
Yeah.
favorite Tenacious D song. I actually like. I'm not as into them as I should be. It's
a shame.
It's kind of like Game of Thrones, where it's like one of those things that everyone talks about, and I just haven't gotten into it, even though I know that I would like it.
You need to do it. It's
I
so worth
know
it.
I'd love them.
We've been trying to find a time. He's never seen Pick of Destiny.
I know.
Pick of Destiny is one of my comfort movies. Like I'll just like put it on. I love that movie so much.
yeah.
Because I
It's,
saw
oh, go ahead.
I saw it once when I was like 12 years old, and I'm just like, this is the dumbest shit ever. I love it. And
I
it's-
saw it
it's-
way too young. That was the reason I was allowed to watch rated R movies, because my dad was like, "Oh, Jack Black, School of Rock," and then
Yep.
we went
Right.
to see it, and I was way too young. And they say "fuck" every 2 seconds in that movie, but I was allowed to
Yep.
watch rated R movies after that. It was pretty sweet.
That's
but
awesome.
Tenacious D, you should absolutely get into them,
I
because
know.
Tenacious D and maybe like Tim Minchin are like the only, maybe some Rhett and Link are like the only comedy musicians where you can, if you're in the car listening to them, you can belt all of their songs.
Yes.
And it feels amazing. They're so good
Yeah,
to sing
yeah.
along to, and just powerful.
Yeah, I mean, like, I got into this comedy business, if it were. Jake. I got into it because from music, like exclusively. I was in a regular band, and JD and I were like, wouldn't it be funny if we made like a comedy song when we were living in Burbank, and we started to think about it, and we're like. And like
He was in a
casting it.
he was in a regular band and released a song called "Fix Me," and then I approached him about making a music video for the song, and then we wrote and directed it together, and it was just really
Yeah,
fluid.
yeah.
So that was our first time working together. But then, you can go ahead.
But then we were like, oh, maybe we should try to like make like we both like comedy music. Let's make a comedy band. It's slow. Like it was really a slow start because it was kind of like figuring out what we were and what we would like to do.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, like, yeah, I can appreciate to go back to what we were talking about with Ninja Sex Party for a second.
Mm-hmm.
I can appreciate the first Ninja Sex Party album because it as like by itself, like there are New York comedy musicians doing a specific bit, right?
Right.
The bit is
Yeah.
that he's Jewish and he's sexy, and there's Ninja Brian, and they want to have sex with you, and that's the entire bit,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
Like the songs aren't necessarily amazing, but like the bit is there, and then slowly as they go, they became something else, which is basically a cover band at this point.
Right.
Yeah.
But like they evolved into something differently. Two Tree Hill is very much the same kind of effect, where like we
And you guys are gonna be a
started
cover
slow.
Yeah.
in
Yeah,
a
you
couple
start
years.
slow,
Yeah.
you find your bit, and then you slowly find something
Yeah.
else. And luckily, ours wasn't cover songs yet.
So,
Right.
so how did you guys? I'm curious. How long were you guys doing live shows and stuff in New York before you were kind of forced to, make the transition to, of course, because everybody was to online stuff like TikTok.
It was like 9
I didn't
months.
want anything to do with TikTok. JD knows that. I was
Yeah.
I was like, no, thank you.
Well, I was doing it a really, really tiny amount, but every time I would post one of our Instagram videos to TikTok, it would not do well.
Right.
And anytime I would post something in just mine, it wouldn't do well. And then we decided, we were in New York for 9 months doing shows here and there, and then we left from the pandemic. And then as soon as we got back together, we were like, we need to start digging our heels into TikTok, just because it's the only social media where it shows you to people who don't know you.
Right.
And it's the
Yes.
easiest way for people to find you. And so I was like, we can do this. These people are there's so much bad content on here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We can
Yeah,
we can do
yeah.
this, and we have film degrees. We can make it look better than these other people and all this stuff. And
Exactly,
so
Yes.
we just started doing it, and then once one of them did well, we were like, okay, well, we live together, we have all this
Yeah.
space, let's keep doing this.
At first, success on TikTok to us was like, I think JD made a video while we were apart, because we lived I think at our parents' house for like 3 months, like a while away from each other.
Like
And JD
6 months.
Was it like 6 months?
It was
Sorry,
like super long.
The entire pandemic to me is like one blur.
Yeah.
It was
Oh,
March to August. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
All of our friends. Little side note. Sorry. All of our friends were posting pictures of them graduating from college, and I'm like, fuck, has it been a year?
Yeah, I was like, that would
Yeah.
have been
College?
nice if we had that.
Yeah. Anyway, sorry.
Oh yeah, no, yeah. I mean, like honestly, I feel the same thing right now.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, like JD had a video that got like 300 likes. And
Yeah, and we
at
were
the-
freaking out.
And at the time,
Yeah.
at the time we were like, really? Holy shit! Like this is amazing. And then we got a video. What was the first one that did well?
Biden, I guess.
It's
Yeah,
Biden.
yeah,
I
yeah.
guess got like I think like it got like 10,000 likes overnight or something.
Yeah.
And we were like beside ourselves because we were like, this is success, baby.
Yeah.
But
Because
then
we'd
like
been making stuff on Instagram for like almost 2 years. And
basically
you're like,
just for us, you know? Like,
yeah,
we just
you're
make
like,
bits
oh,
all
we
the
got
time.
130 likes. This is we killed it. This is
Yeah.
an amazing video.
I don't
Yeah.
know how Instagram's video thing works. To me, it seems like Facebook. Where like, does anybody go to the video tab at Instagram?
Like
Not
reels.
me.
Yeah,
Not
like Reels.
me.
I
No,
don't.
yeah.
But like, yeah, I do think like you guys were able to adapt to TikTok so well. But like now that you're finally like getting out into stretching your legs, doing live shows again. Like, do you think like that's where you're going to continue to grow your audience that way, or are you going to keep putting as much time into the video side?
I think that like right now the video thing has been really good to us.
Yeah.
I
We're
won't
definitely. I mean,
I
we
won't-
do.
say exactly what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
we have had opportunities come to us because of it, and I feel like if we kept doing it, maybe it would lead to something big, right? So
Yeah.
I think
It's-
we'd be shooting ourselves in the foot by not doing it, right?
Right.
Doing,
Yeah,
I mean,
absolutely.
we're definitely gonna still do live stuff because it's how we started
Well,
and
yeah, exactly.
it's just fun to do stuff in front of a live audience. And there's jokes you can't do
100%.
on TikTok that you can do for a live audience.
I would say
and
you
stuff,
can't
so-
do most jokes on TikTok. I would say
Yeah.
our act, feel like probably 80% of our act, we would get banned immediately. And we're not even that raunchy or edgy. You know what I mean? Like we're just regular comics, but they're so like block hungry.
Someone dies in the song,
right.
and you would get banned.
People, TikTok is such a like. It almost feels like almost like Tumblr in some ways, where I posted a video on my personal page making fun of Irish Americans when they go into Ireland and act like they own the place, and because it's something that I see every time when I'm over there, and like
It's a
This
tale
is
as old
my
as time.
city.
yes, exactly.
I run this city.
There's a fucking culture war happening right now in my comments between like Gen Z Irish people and like millennial Irish Americans, like discussing what their cultural identity is, and I'm like, I didn't ask for
This
this.
is what you want.
Like-
this is the key to success, my man. Because listen,
If you can get
swear
people
to God,
fight in your comments,
if
you
you
will
can
get
get people
so
to be
much
upset
exposure.
with you, you're in the money, baby.
Yeah.
When we make a video and we're like, wow, people are going to argue about this in the comments, not against us, but
Right.
they're going to have really specific ideas that they want to get across.
Well, honestly,
We
that's-
made a
that's
video.
what's-
We made a video called "There's Nothing Worse Than a New Atheist," and
yeah.
after we wrote it and made the video, like JD and I remember this. We kind of looked at each other and we were like there was like a moment for me where I was like, this one has the potential.
so many people are going to argue with each other.
honestly,
They're-
like,
yeah,
video.
because atheists are mad and Christians are mad and everyone else is mad. I love it. I love it.
our experience with TikTok has been like, we have like an average of 80 likes on each video, and then we have one that blew up, and it was just us calling out people who watch John Mulaney and say the jokes along with him. and a lot of people are like, I'm
Guilty.
sorry, man, I did, and the whole comments are just people being like, I can't help it, I just find him so funny. And that's the one that's done the best because people had something to say about it.
But
That's
it's
good. TikTok, definitely, you can't really, not to cut you off, but you definitely, sketches are not really rewarded. You need to do something that's inherently super relatable. And people go, oh my God, I talk about that.
Yeah.
It's like,
and
yeah.
Yeah, have you seen that that Vine where it's the haha, I do that?
I think so.
Yeah.
I think about that every time we make a video because I'm like,
I
does
do
it have
that.
the haha I do that factor? You know?
it is crazy to me how like it's especially it was like this with Vine and it's kind of like this with TikTok, and this will lead into one of the questions that you wrote down.
Yeah.
Was how people especially like younger people's senses of humor has like been kind of changed by social media, and like we're a generation of comics that like we didn't grow up. Like, our first exposure to comedy music and to sketch comedy wasn't live. It wasn't going out to see comics. It wasn't going out to see Second City. It was seeing stuff on the internet, and that's kind of how our, and it's collectively, some like for most of our, that's how our voices were kind of formed in that realm. And now like people like one thing that kind of bugs me so much, and I don't know why, is people will like take clips of Saturday Night Live. And they will cut out just their favorite punchlines of it.
Not even the setup.
Not even the setups, just their favorite punchlines, and put them into like a fan cam compilation called like SNL moments that cured my depression or whatever.
Yeah.
And I'm like, and that's just how people like
Consume media.
SNL now. Those get like thousands of views, and I'm like, but you're missing the set, the whole build up to, I don't know.
Well, yeah.
It sounds like you want people to have depression.
Oh,
There you go.
Yeah,
and then they'll
hold on.
argue
So
in my
far, so good.
comments.
Possibly
Exactly.
pro depression.
Yeah, so far so good. So something I actually recently saw a fan cam for SNL that was legitimately called SNL moments that made me forget my abusive relationship with my mom. That
Hey.
was a legitimate video that came across my recommended.
Bet it got a lot of clicks.
It did.
That's how you bring them in.
It got a lot.
Yeah, listen.
So I actually have a question for you guys, and it's if you could have a Two Tree Hill fan cam made
Very
for
abusive. Oh, sorry. Go on. What was the question?
if you could have a Two Tree Hill fan cam made for you, what would you want it to be called?
In that
Two
vein.
Tree Hill moments that
That make you piss and shit.
in my little pants.
Okay.
And I don't know where my dog is. Have you seen my dog? Please call this number and
He's
this
been
email.
missing for 3 days, and he's 10 years old, and he's not gonna make it out on his own.
And then it says not clickbait.
Perfect.
And a bunch of like circles and arrows on the
Yeah,
thumbnail.
arrows to the dog.
Yeah, and then it's like marble trailer breakdown underneath it.
Yeah.
God, that reminds me of this fucking video I had to make for work recently. I got paid to make a 10-minute long shit post for my job recently, where like
that sounds like the
That's awesome.
dream.
Thank you. I've never seen Game of Thrones, but we made a video where it's like a fake breakdown for the first pixel of the new Game of Thrones reboot. And we have this guy like do like an emergency awesome thing. It was like, hey everybody, so HBO just dropped the very first pixel of the new Game of Thrones spin-off House of Dragons. So let's break down everything for it. As you can see, this pixel is royal blue, hex code 0000FF. The only time we actually ran this through an AI, and the only time this pixel ever appeared is under Khal Drago's armpit in season 1, and it's like it's this
Yeah,
whole...
that's awesome. I love Emergency Awesome. I used to be subscribed to him. Do you know who this is, JD? Do you know who Emergency Awesome is? All right, I'll do my impression. Eamon did a great impression.
It's
just now,
garbage
but
content,
this is my
but
impression
like
of
it gets the clicks.
He goes, "Hi everyone, welcome back to Emergency Awesome. Today we're talking about Spider-Man leaked footage that just came out, and here's the photo here. I think we all can agree that we're very excited to watch this new Spider-Man movie together." And it's like, and every video is like 25 minutes long, and there's no cuts.
Yes.
It's unbelievable. And he gets millions of views every single video, and I don't know why.
Oh man.
Meanwhile, I'm fucking over here editing this show, and like 50 people watch
I'm
it.
fucking over
Yeah.
here.
I'm fucking
over-
over.
Meanwhile,
Hey,
I'm
I'm
fucking
fucking over here.
hey, I've been fucking over here since 5th grade in the opera. All right.
Hey, I'm fucking here.
Ew.
Yeah. Non-stop. Just
You didn't mention the you didn't talk about the Joey Diaz thing in Spider-Man 2 like I thought you would, JD. I thought you'd really like that.
Oh, I didn't talk to you about it?
Yeah, I thought you'd go, "Oh, that is him." And
I
then
thought
we'd
you
go,
went... do you guys want to know a really fun fact?
Yeah, please.
Sure.
I
Yeah.
was replaying through the Spider-Man 2 video game about a year ago.
the best one. Yeah.
And were you guys Reno 911 fans?
Yes.
A little bit.
Do you remember Officer Raynisha Williams?
Um.
She was the black woman with the big
Yeah.
butt.
Yeah.
Yeah. She is a voice in the Spider-Man 2 video game.
Really?
And I recognized it immediately because she's swinging around. She goes, "You the man, Spidey!" And I was like, "That's her!" And I looked it up, and she's
JD like ran
on
out of his room.
IMDb.
I remember this. He ran out of his room and he was
God.
like, "Ryan, it's her." Like
Yeah. I was so pumped because I love Reno 911, and I was like, now I have what I'll say to her if I ever meet
Yeah,
her.
exactly.
Niecy Nash.
Did you
I'll
see
be
any of
back.
the? Did you see
I
any of the
loved your work in
Quibi-
Spider-Man 2, the video game.
Oh, I played it all the time. I rented it all the time from Blockbuster as a kid. Never bought it until I was in college and found it at like a disc replay type store.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
it's very good.
If
Yeah,
you
yeah.
replay it, you keep an ear out for Niecy Nash as
wait, it reminds me
bystander number 3.
It reminds me of what I want to do when I meet Macy Gray inevitably.
What do you want to do?
Which is
Yeah.
Say
I
with
loved
me.
you in Spider-Man 2.
No, I loved you in
Oh,
Spider-Man
Spider-Man
1,
One.
but I loved you in the scene where all the Green Goblin came and he turned all those guys into skeletons and then they fell to the ground. And that was the exact scene.
Macy
And-
Gray is the performer at like Times Square
Oh,
in that
shit.
movie.
Yeah,
Really?
ladies and gentlemen, Macy Gray. And then she sings. And it's other than like the. Have you guys seen the promo footage for Spider-Man that came out?
I don't think so.
Oh, with the
It came out in-
with the Twin Towers.
the Twin
one?
Towers?
Yes. Yep.
Oh
yep.
yeah.
Yeah,
original trailer?
It's insane.
It's crazy. That's so whack.
Yeah, it's so whack. In the original,
It's not epic.
No.
Not epic.
9/11 was not epic. And in the original promo for the movie, I guess Sam Raimi shot an entire like fake movie. Is that what
Yeah.
I'm led to believe? And it was like a heist in a bank. And then the guys were like, hop on the helicopter quick. And the helicopter goes between the Twin Towers and gets stuck in a web. And it says, this summer,
It's incredible.
Spider-Man.
It's like if
It would have been cool if he did it on purpose and it was a plane that he catches between the Twin Towers and they're like Spider-Man would have stopped 9/11. This is our firm
But
stance.
but seriously, think about it. It's the year 1999, and you have no clue there's a Spider-Man movie coming out, and you see that promo where Spider-Man catches a helicopter in the Twin Towers. That would have been the coolest shit ever in the movie theater. You know?
Yeah.
So like,
it would have been the coolest thing. Yeah, exactly. And then, but here's the thing: if 9/11 didn't happen, you wouldn't have had Joey Diaz stand up to Doc Ock like that and go, "If you mess with one New Yorker, you mess with all of us."
That's true.
And you know, and honestly, like I feel like that brought us all together. So there really is a pro
That
and cons
healed our
list. And
nation.
so, what do you guys have any pros on that list that you'd like to add to it, or?
On what list?
Pros of 9/11.
Pros of 9/11.
Yeah, the pros of 9.
I have it somewhere. I used to add to it every night. Add to
Team
the list.
America?
Team America, World Police. That's a big
Actually,
one.
you know what? That is a fantastic
That's a
film.
great answer. That's a great
Team
answer.
America World Police.
I love that movie.
One of my favorite movies ever made.
Yeah.
I need to rewatch it. It's been a little bit, but I remember
It's
having
so
a
worth it.
blast.
You know that.
It's really
so
good.
going back to Reno 911, Thomas Lennon is my favorite actor. Of
It's your
just
favorite
of all
actor?
time. Favorite actor.
Period.
I love Thomas
End of
Lennon.
sentence?
Purpose.
I just
you were
love
watching
it.
17 again, and you were
And I was
like,
like, that's
this
the man.
guy.
Well, it actually started because he was just in everything, and I was like,
He was in everything
and I was
for
like,
a while.
oh, that guy is funny in everything I see, and then I like looked it up. But I actually just a couple months ago took a sketch writing workshop with Thomas Lennon at UCB.
Yeah, we heard about this. Ryan told me or something. You told us or something. I heard this.
Yeah.
But that
Yeah,
is so
yeah.
insane.
It was fun. I was nervous the whole time. It's one of those things that like as soon as
I would suck his dick right there.
You know,
I love Reno 911.
I would have. But it was one of those things that, like as
yeah,
soon
I
as I
love
was in the Zoom call, I was like, oh, I'm not funny enough to be here. Like it's that feeling that sinks in as soon as I see him staring at me, and he's like, all right, time to read your sketch, boy. Like it was so like as far as I could tell, there were zero laughs. I'm sure there were, but all I was looking at was him. And I was like,
I want that
give
so
me
bad.
notes.
So that feeling you felt in that Zoom call is what it's like to be a stand-up in New York.
Yeah.
I want you to know that.
Yeah.
Because you go to 1,000 open mics or like shows or whatever, and everyone there is like on this level that's way up here, and you're like, oh no, they're
Yeah.
gonna
Everyone
hate
in the
us.
room is a comic.
Oh man.
Yeah,
It's-
everyone
it's
watching
9
is a comic.
comics in a room doing comedy for
Yo,
each other.
honestly,
It's an
so
open mic.
I have the worst experience with that where we used to do comedy in our college town of Muncie, Indiana. And
Muncie.
yeah,
the big city.
super small. It's what is Pawnee from Parks and Rec is based off of it. Like it's that tiny. The only thing there is
I've
Ball
heard
State.
that show.
Yeah. The only thing there is Ball State. So we used to do comedy there, and it was only fun because we convinced like 30 of our friends to show up. And I was in Muncie over the summer, and I was asked to like MC the comedy night. And I was like, yeah, I'll do it. I did it. It was me and the other comedians doing 5-minute sets, and they were the only ones in the audience. And
There were like 5
Yeah.
of them.
there
right?
were 5 of them. So whenever they would be on stage, I would laugh and clap, even if I didn't find it funny, because I wanted to be supportive. No one did that for anyone else. So I was up there with silence, saying all of my
God.
stuff in between every comic.
That's what we've always said is good about us is even if the jokes aren't going well, it's a song.
Right.
So,
Yes. Yeah,
we-
it just keeps going.
We have that crutch.
Yeah.
That's-
And we tried once. We were like, let's do it Nick Thune style where you're going to play the guitar and we're just going to do jokes
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
and not sing a song. And it did not do well. And we were like, not trying this for a while.
So,
Right.
so something I've been curious about, only because I don't have as much experience in the world of like live comedy. But what is the process like for a comedy music duo doing open mics? Do you still do like do you go to stand up nights, or like how do you like find those spaces to perform?
I'm
I'm
glad
so
you
sick
asked.
of open mics. We're luckily to the point where we're able to sort of get on shows easier.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
the thing is, with
I wanted to
trying-
talk first.
Oh, go ahead. You can talk if you want.
Ah! Sorry, I wanted to crush the can.
Perfect.
Just kidding. No, go on.
Oh, well, yeah, open mics are really not that fun, but we would go, and at the beginning we would go, "Do you have 2 mics?" And they would go, "No," and we would go, "All right, I guess we should leave." So
we've done that like twice though, or maybe 3 times, where we just try to do it with 1 mic.
And do
And
it
it
doo-wop
sucks.
style. And every time I would go, "We're gonna do it doo-wop style," which to me was a laugh, and,
Right.
and no one would
Yeah.
laugh, and I would go, "This is not off to a good start."
Yeah.
And but yeah, for us it's mainly like at this point I think we've decided no mics, because open mics are usually really small rooms, so we don't need a mic, and we'll just scream
That's fair.
so that we
Yeah.
can still move around. And then
Yeah.
we I dislike open mics. And the other thing is, we talk about it all the time, but a normal comic goes, "I have these jokes at work. I'm going to try out a new joke or 2 new jokes tonight." We have to try out an entire new song. So it's
Yeah.
like 4 minutes of completely new material, or 3 minutes or whatever.
Right.
But also, like, like writing songs is like, even though we're pretty quick at it, it's still like a hard process. You know what I
Yes.
mean? Like,
Yes,
writing
yeah.
a song, it can be like, like sometimes we'll be like, "Oh, that's not it, that's not it, that's not it," and then we'll finally get it, and we'll be like, "All right, let's perform this for people." And we've been working on this song for a few weeks, and then we'll perform it, and it does nothing. And then we're
Yeah.
like, "What
Yeah.
now?" Like, is the song done, or do we like rewrite the song? You know what I mean? Like, so it's a whole different
We played
thing to think
Leonardo Bobby live once, and it did not do well, and we never played it again.
Well, the funny
But
part
I
about
love
that is
that
that
song.
JD goes, "Ryan, this is going to kill." And I said, JD, I was
This is the
like,
one.
I went, "JD, it's kind of like an out there song. I don't know if people are going to really get it." And he's like, no, listen, you need to stop worrying so much.
They
and then
hated
we go up there, and it was like imagine like the worst way it could go without them throwing tomatoes at us. That's kind of how it went.
Right.
It felt like 15 minutes. And it's
Oh,
a
man.
3-minute song.
We're gonna be
Yeah.
trying to do some more, like, we want to do some live comedy as a duo, because we're gonna be moving to a bigger city soon, and with a pretty big comedy scene, and we just don't even know what to do. Like, we've been trying to think, like, how do we even go about like developing something
It's-
like that? It's such an
yeah,
interesting.
It is weird because like I feel like my comedy brain for so long has been in the mindset of making sketches that will be consumed on the internet.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And so now that I need to try and rewire myself in a sense to be back on stage and doing like that.
Yeah, you guys should do it like Garth Marenghi style, how they have the stage show.
Yeah.
Like that, like whenever we do something, we always want to put like so much money and time and props and stuff into it.
Yeah.
That's
And
what I was gonna
I feel
say.
like if we ever did like a sketch show, it would have to be we're playing very distinct characters. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, it has to, and
Yeah.
there's a script. You know what I mean? Like it would have to be so meticulous for
There's
us.
these 2 guys in New York named Matt and Jack. I'm forgetting their last names, but they are insanely good. They're great, and they always would do stand-up sets as characters
Mm-hmm.
and have these insane costumes, and they were really, really great. But it was like, and their stories would be connected. So one of them would do a set first, and then 3 spots later, the other guy would come up, and his is connected
That's
to the other
fantastic.
guy's
That's
set.
incredible. Wow.
It was they're really cool. They're really
literally
smart.
stretching the medium of stand-up comedy in the year 2020. Like
Right.
that's stupid.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it's
for,
crazy.
for small shows in
Yeah.
someone's basement, and they're like putting this much commitment.
But that's what's incredible. I feel like it's one of those things, like it's part of the appeal of like going to see like live improv in a sense. Is like you do it to a small room and no one's ever going to see this ever again.
Right.
So I think like I feel like that's kind of the reason why they put so much effort into something like that. I just love comedians who kind of stretch what stand up is, because I feel like so many old comedians are just too stuck in the way of like, if it's not just one guy up on stage, then you're a fucking hack, you know? Like people would say that.
People think we're hacks all the time.
We've been called washed up.
We've been called washed up, but like
No way.
Yeah.
So young to be washed up.
You're too young to be washed
That's
up.
what I'm saying.
Exactly.
I'm like, we just created a show. How is that washed up?
but it's crazy how like people I love a lot of Australian comics, people, like Auntie Donna and like their circle, because down there
Of
like in Melbourne, like they don't give a fuck as long as like you're funny and as long as what you're doing is entertaining, then it's not hack,
Watching their live stuff was definitely like, oh shit, we gotta do some stuff like this.
Yeah.
Same.
Yeah,
they,
same.
they go so just random with what they do on stage. I love it. Do we
Yeah.
need
The
to?
beats are so meticulous too. Like they're
Yes.
so like there'll be a sound thing, and then they'll do a song, and then they'll like hop into a sketch. Like it's so cool. It's so cool. What's your favorite Weezer song?
Favorite Weezer song? Probably
Yeah.
Island in the Sun.
I was about to say Island in the Sun.
From Mary-Kate and Ashley.
From Mary-Kate and Ashley's
Mary-Kate and
Holiday in
Ashley.
the Sun.
From my band in high school that played that song.
Yeah.
Ooh, you had a
Yeah.
band in high school?
Deep
Did
cut
you play
was
the
it?
bagpipes?
No, I played keyboard in that band.
Okay.
Yeah.
How similar are the instruments?
It's a bit of a learning curve between the two.
Which one's easier to blow into?
Oh, piano by far.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's a
You need to
melodic
play
one.
bagpipes on a track for us too. We're gonna figure it out.
Hey, if as long as it's in B flat, E flat, or C minor, I can play it. So.
Okay, write that down, Ryan, mentally.
D flat, E flat.
If
Well,
only
the good thing
someone
is
was
that
recording.
C minor is the relative minor to E flat. So I mean, obviously, I can just keep it in the same key.
Yeah, and there
Right.
you go.
All right, welcome back,
Is it-
everybody.
Hello.
Welcome back. So, real quick, both times we have the Zoom call has ended. We've been about to say something, and the last time we completely moved on. So I'm gonna quickly go back to Eamon was gonna tell a story about John Green, I think, before the first Zoom call ended.
God.
So tell that story
Been
real
a
quick.
cluster. Okay. My story.
Tell the story.
My story about how I didn't actually meet John Green.
That's
But
the horrible story. You've had us waited this whole time.
That's a horrible
No.
story.
Waiting.
It was okay. So when I was in high school, so John Green lives in Indianapolis. He is a Hoosier. He lives up on the north side
He
of
is
town.
in fact a Hoosier.
Yeah.
He's a Hoosier, I say.
Yes.
Who's your daddy?
All the Hoosiers down in Hoosierville.
Liked
Horton-
John Green a lot.
Horton here's a Hoosier.
But anyway, he lives up on the north side of town. And I, when I was in high school, I was a band kid with a camera who wanted to make a movie. And I made a little movie, shot it with my friends. It's not very good. And I thought, oh, yeah, I want this to be legit. I'm going to ask John Green if he wants to cameo in this movie. And so, like, I looked him
Wow.
I looked him up. I was 14. I was so dumb and naive. I looked him up in the white pages. Like the local white pages, and like wrote
That's
him
so
a,
cute, though.
and
That
like
is cute.
wrote him a letter and sent it to him and just like expected him to respond.
And then he didn't.
And he didn't. No.
Damn.
Because
That's so cute.
would you open fan mail that somebody fucking like sent you like to your home?
Did you say how old you were?
No.
You
Okay,
just said
that
I
may-
want.
it's
Yeah,
a little
maybe not.
rougher.
Maybe not.
It's kind of. I would be like, oh, this is cute. We got fan mail from a kid who looked us up in the white pages, a little boy who's 14. But
Yeah.
that's pretty cute. I
Interesting.
don't think you should be embarrassed about that at all.
Yeah.
I
Hey-
think I would have done that if I knew a celebrity lived in my town.
Hey,
Yeah,
John Green.
For sure.
Yeah. Now since you're watching the show, come and
Yeah,
join
now that John
us.
Green definitely watches our show, you gotta.
He keeps an eye on all Indiana entertainment.
Exactly, that's his job.
So
he works for the government.
I actually applied for the DFTBA internship, and I got a rejection letter. So I guess I got further than you. I got a
Oh,
response.
Okay.
Hey.
Ouch.
Ouch.
Fuck. Okay.
He said he was
Ouch.
14 when he applied, though.
Right.
Listen
That's why I
here,
got the
guys.
response.
My friend Alan created DFTBA, so I could probably get you guys in.
Really?
Wow.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
So listen, I have the know. I have the know.
You're in. So one of the things that I was going to mention before this last Zoom thing ended, you were talking about trying out songs and sometimes things just don't work, and also the relatable attitude of TikTok. I discovered you guys through the Sexy Animal song, as most people probably did. That was your biggest boost, I think.
I don't know why you would assume that. But go on.
But I really dug your guys' stuff, and I went back and watched a lot of it, and I've been keeping up with you guys as you post. And I think my favorite song of yours is the GameStop stock market song. And that is one that I've
wow.
noticed that like you would repost it a couple times and just see if like maybe the algorithm would do it better, and it never did. And I watched it
Not
on
once.
loop multiple times. I love that one. Like it's one of my
It's a
favorites.
very catchy song.
It's
Yes,
so
it
it's
is.
yeah it's
I worked very hard on that song. It's one of my faves.
I shared it to all my friends on TikTok because I was like, you guys got to check this out, and they're like, cool. And they just
I don't
weren't
like
like
that you picked a song that I had nothing to do with to say was your favorite.
Yeah.
yeah. Well,
Well,
don't
look, I mean,
I like the snake too. I like the charming
I
snake.
think the beach song I just came out with is also probably the second best one.
Which one is that?
Probably. I just made a beach song. No one saw it again.
Oh, the
It's
beach
fine.
song. I like to go to the
Oh,
beach.
yeah.
Yeah, the beach song is great. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's the
no, it's
second
great,
best one.
Ryan.
Yeah, it's the
We
second
love
best
it.
one.
Yeah, we love it. No, I did like it though.
It's
I mean,
no Todd the Snake, I'll tell you that.
I remember
Yo-
I was sitting at my desk at work, and I got the notification that Two Tree Hill's live, and I'm like, oh, cool. I wonder what. And then I open it up, and there's fucking JD as a snake going like, "I'll tell you your fortune," and like.
and I was like,
I don't know what I was on that day, but I was having so much fun doing that.
Oh, it was a blast.
yeah, because Eamon texted me and was like, you should check out the Two Tree Hill live. Something's going on. I was like, okay. No, but like
Something horrible has happened.
Yeah,
Something horrible has happened.
Well, I really like because after I watched a lot of your guys' stuff on TikTok, I clicked the button that no one seems to click on TikTok, which sends you to other social media. For some reason, people don't know that button exists.
Yep.
But like, I went to check out your Instagram and your YouTube and all that stuff, and I'm a big fan of Pillow Talk. I love it. I'm waiting for more.
Thank you.
We'll see.
Yeah, we'll
Us too.
see. But yeah, I'm just a big fan of your content, and I was really happy that you agreed to help us out with our pirate sea shanty, and be on the podcast.
Another thing that I love of you guys is your Charlie Chaplin podcast.
Did
Oh
you
my
listen
God.
to it?
I listened to
Excuse
some
me?
of it. Yeah.
What did you just say to us?
I listened to some of the Charlie
Oh.
Chaplin podcast.
That was the goal of that was to make the worst podcast ever made.
But like I love
That-
Charlie Chaplin movies. So you suck.
That's so
that,
funny.
That means that you probably started with the latest episode, which is arguably one of the worst things you've ever done.
Did you start with the first episode or the last episode?
I think I like listened to one of them in the middle.
Okay,
Yeah.
the last
Thank
episode,
God.
we're like, I think I might be drunk and Ryan is exhausted. We're both exhausted, and we just get the idea that it'd be really funny if we got diarrhea halfway through the episode. And so we start farting a lot, and we're laughing
And
so hard.
We're laughing the whole time because we're manually making farts with our mouths. There's
next-
no post work.
The next
Right.
day, we were like, what the hell was that episode? This is the dumbest thing we've ever made.
Yeah, like it would be like, wow, there's Charlie Chaplin. He's doing a big jump.
Sorry.
And anyway, there was no funny bit to it. It was just us going, yeah, aren't farts really good? So
Well, that reminds me of a bit that's going to be
A bit that we
in
just
episode
filmed
4.
today.
Yeah, that we just filmed today. That's in the episode that comes out right before this podcast, because we do the alternate dimensions in each episode. We see an alternate dimension, and this one is a world where George Harrison had really bad allergies, and it just shows someone put on a vinyl of Let It Be, and they click on it, and Get Back starts, and just in the background you hear the whole time, and then that's the end of it.
That's
There's
such
just-
a better joke than we have diarrhea while
we
we're
have diarrhea while we
filming.
watch
Yeah.
Charlie Chaplin.
Might I recommend?
well, I think the best joke, the best use of the format for us was when we did the one where JD had to go get something from the other room or something, and I kept doing this thing where I'd make his footsteps, so he'd like go, I'll be right back, and
Yeah. Like, I'm coming
And
as
then-
fast
and
as
then
I
he'd be like-
can.
and then he'd be like, all right, I'm back, and I'm like, wait, no, you still have to go up some stairs.
The funniest thing we did for that whole show to me was we interviewed a Charlie Chaplin impersonator who doesn't talk for the whole episode. And we're like, you're so committed to your craft. And we're like asking him questions going, okay, he's holding up 6 fingers. It was so funny.
That's
That's-
fun.
that's incredible.
I like that.
Might I recommend, if you do ever do another one, If you want to if you want a feature to watch, I recommend Modern Times. Modern Times is my favorite Charlie Chaplin movie. It was the last one to feature the tramp, that character.
You know,
and it's also the only movie where the tramp
we've seen
talks.
Modern Times. It is a great one, but it's a long one.
We want like 15-minute movies that no one has heard that don't have names.
Wow.
Called like Tramp Number 3. And so all right, guys, get your reels ready. Get your reels ready, and we're gonna watch it starting now.
If we wanted to get to the point. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say, if we edit together different clips of Charlie Chaplin and create a new film out of it, will you guys do another episode of the podcast and react to it?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
You've already basically heard what every episode sounds like, but we can do that for sure.
Yeah, perfect.
But, what was I going to say? I forgot. Oh, we wanted to get to do an episode where it's like Charlie Chaplin's birthday, and we're like, in honor of Charlie Chaplin, this is going to be a completely silent episode, and it's an hour-long episode where we don't talk the entire time.
But we imply up front we're doing a lot of physical comedy.
Right. Yes.
You know, a lot of like brushing on the mic.
In
one of our first comedy experiments was when we were in high school. We made a Christmas album of like shitty
it started in high school and it ended in college.
It was of just like shitty celebrity impressions singing Christmas songs, and one of them was Silent Night, and it was just 3 minutes of silence.
Just in the middle of the album.
That's really good.
That's
and just made people sit through it.
Yeah.
That was fun.
Well, no one sat through it. 'Cause I got the
No
bit.
one listened to it. But other than that, I sat through it because I listened to it.
I edited it.
Yeah.
That's solid.
Oh, man.
We really appreciate you guys, especially Eamon for listening to that podcast, because it's infamously unlistenable. But we appreciate you guys for
as are some
for
episodes
saying
of this
nice
show.
things about us.
Yeah. Well, I was going to listen to it, but then I saw your TikTok about podcasts, and then you included a screenshot of your own podcast in it, and I was like, well, now I don't have to. They've like. You guys have you've completely exhumed me of any responsibility of listening to the Charlie Chaplin podcast.
It's funny that like when you do like the footsteps, because like sometimes we'll introduce characters and I will like stomp my feet really loud or like bang on the wall to make a noise.
Yeah.
Like oh my god.
Even though
someone's coming down the stairs
even though it's
right
a
now.
video podcast.
Yeah. Well, most people listen to it anyway.
Most people watch it.
Yeah.
More people
oh my
watch
god.
it. Way more.
Somebody's coming down the stairs right now. It's oh my god. He actually showed up, guys. It's pizza maker Stephen Lombardi McConnor, Nick's favorite guest.
Yes.
Who's here on the show.
And here he is. He's right there. JD, take over.
I have my original tongue. It was never cut off.
What? So that
I actually sell Chinese food.
I sell Chinese. That's not my name. My name
You're my
is
dad. You're my dad
Martin
now.
Short, and I'm your dad.
Bit adjourned. Thank you guys so much. That was great. We'll make sure to do more character
amazing.
work like that in the future.
For sure.
But
as much fun as we're having, I think I've yawned 9 times in
Right.
the past 5 minutes.
yeah, we're at the end of the
take a
podcast anyway.
fuck.
Oh man.
Yeah, he's actually trying to put his arm around you to kiss you.
Oh, okay.
He's at the theater style.
Well,
I cut a hole in the bucket of popcorn.
Back to the corn. Wait, did you say corn or did you say the place in
Corridon.
Popcorn.
A bucket of Corridon.
Corridon. Did you say Corridon or corn?
Well, thank you guys so much for being on our podcast, for helping us with the Pirate Sea Shanty. It's been great talking to you guys.
It's been a real pleasure.
Yeah. It's been a lot of fun.
Of course, you as well.
We appreciate you
soldiers.
guys.
At East
All right.
Soldiers. This has been amazing. This has been a fun time. I think JD and I have never had more fun talking about corn than this podcast.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect.
I hope people like talking about comedy to a really specific degree because otherwise it's going to be very annoying and referential to stuff they've never heard of.
Honestly, that's the previous 3 episodes of our show too, and some people are retaining. So that's
some
important.
people are coming back.
All right. Well, thank you guys so
boys,
much.
I will see you tomorrow.
Oh,
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
See you tomorrow.
Yep, I'll see you
Coming
tomorrow.
over.
All right. Thank you guys
Coming
for
up.
listening to the So Far So Good podcast. I'm Eamon Haggerty. That's Nick Rorman.
I'm Nick Rorman.
And that's Two Tree Hill.
Two Tree Hill. Everyone give him another round of applause. Yay.
And And as Harry would say if he was here,
See ya.
This has been a SchlemCorp production.